Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. All right, I got Lauren Darr with me, and let me make sure I have the website right. Lauren, is it LaurenOriginals.com?
LOI-international.com.
LOI-international.com. You're involved in trade shows. Kind of give us your elevator speech before we jump into this whole topic of trade shows, which, there's a lot of debate these days as to their value of, and you know what I'm talking about with modern technology and everything else, and it just seems so redundant and old school. Will it survive? That type of thing. But I keep seeing them. I keep going to them myself, and they seem to be continue to be robust in their numbers. But before we get into that, let's talk about what you guys do.
I help people maximize their trade show exposure with their marketing communications because, as you know, trade shows are a huge line item expense on their budget, and fewer and fewer companies are seeing the value in that. So I help them get that return on investment with goals and creativity in order to maximize that investment on their bottom line.
So are you a consultant for companies that use trade shows?
Yes, I have clients, and they hire me specifically to help them with their marketing for trade shows.
Awesome. Very cool. Tell me about some of the companies you work with that you feel comfortable, mentioning.
I've worked with several companies in the broadcast industry, mainly on the software and hardware side of the business. For example, VCI Solutions was one, or Store TV. They build software to help a cable company or a radio or television station run on the back end.
Okay. And tell me, what are some of the most common mistakes that you see at trade shows?
One of the most common mistakes is that I see people not planning ahead for simple things like capturing leads and that lead follow-up. And companies that win at the trade show game basically are doing simple things like following up. I see simple mistakes like people not getting attention of people that are walking by their booth with simple things like signage. So a lot of times it doesn't have to be a lot of expense that's put into maximizing your trade show investment. It's a lot of common sense, frankly, in a lot of situations.
Yeah, and when you begin to do a review of a client's trade show efforts, where do you begin?
We begin with what's happened in the past and what have they done in the past. If they have not gone to trade shows in the past, then we look at what would be the best trade shows for them to meet the specific demographic that they want to reach. And we kind of begin with the end in mind and set goals on number of leads or amount of traffic or amount of exposure in the trade press that they want to achieve.
Yeah, very good. Now, let me ask you, you named a couple of industries that you tend to be strong with in terms of working and providing advice to. Are there industries that you won't do, or do you cover a lot of different industries beyond that, those core groups, those core competencies, I guess you could say?
I've covered several different industries, anywhere from pet industry to broadcast industry, and even expos that cater to senior people. Yeah.
Okay. And how many trade shows do you find yourself involved in every year?
Dozens. It's quite a few trade shows that I've been to over the past 20 years.
Yeah, I bet. But annually you do a couple of dozens that you do consulting for?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, at least.
How big is your team?
I'm sorry?
How big is your team?
Probably around 5 people.
Wow, that's incredible. Because that's a lot of bandwidth. Those trade shows are really demanding. How involved are you tactically, or at the events versus just all the planning prior and that type of thing?
I'm really more of a strategic consultant type person. So we really come in and develop the vision. We set the goals. And a lot of the companies that I work with, they actually have their own teams. And they're great people. They're very smart. They're bright. They're wonderful. they just may not necessarily have that specific trade show experience. And so we come in and help their marketing team with, okay, here are the specific things that you need to do. And their teams a lot of times want to do the implementation because it's their salespeople that are meeting people on the trade show floor.
Yeah, interesting. Talking about the importance of trade shows and their value. Are you seeing them wane at all, or what is the state of trade shows in 2013?
I'm seeing that it's kind of gone through a cycle, and I think that especially with the economy around 2008, 2009, people were definitely stopping trade shows, and even some shows were canceled. But I'm starting to see that people are starting to get back into that mode. It's not full swing, and I don't know that it'll ever be full swing the way that it was at one point in time. But I am seeing an uptick, but it seems to be just slight, but it is definitely there.
Mm-hmm. So are there other factors beyond just the economy that are affecting the viability of trade shows? Or technology itself undermining that? Because, let's face it, a lot of web pages can present like you would normally see at a trade show.
Definitely. A lot of companies are deciding to do webinars or telesummits, and I think there's been a trend towards wanting to completely do everything online. But I think companies in the past few years have come to a realization that there really truly is no replacement for that human connection and bonding with someone one-on-one, face-to-face.
That tactical type deal where you actually, shake somebody's hand and look someone in the eye and that type of thing.
Right. We're all humans, and we have that human connection when you actually see someone face-to-face. That even with technology, and it's wonderful, and it is a great replacement for trade shows in some instances, but I don't know that we'll ever get to the point where there's going to be a replacement for that human connection. And like you said, shaking someone's hand and being able to look them in the eye and just kind of feel like you know that person and you can trust them.
Yeah, absolutely. There's, although I think we're slowly getting our brains rewired. The human touch just isn't what it used to be. I saw a great magazine cover that said the anti-social network, and it showed a couple, having dinner with each other, romantic, right? But they're both on their phones, and even the waiter has headphones in his ears as he's pouring wine in one of their glasses. And it kind of epitomizes this strange dichotomy going on today. And I, for one, am advocating that people need to reconnect more. And thanks for connecting with us today, Lauren.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I enjoyed it very much. Give that website one more time.
It's LOI-international.com.
I want to encourage everyone to check that out. And Lauren, we'll probably be in touch with you again here in the very near future. Loved learning more about what you do, and look forward to talking again.
All right, thanks. Have a great day.
You bet. All right, when we come back, we're going to have more for you. I do want to remind you, best content here, it shows up over there at usdailyreview.com. While there, like it on Facebook, follow it on Twitter. You're listening to The Price of Business.